Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Third time is a charm, so I've always been told. Fingers crossed it is the charm for us. I am once again joined in the commentary booth by Kane. We have seen some immaculate driving in the opening rounds here, Kane. It's just a pity we don't have the technology here at Broadcast House to keep up with the guys on track.
Absolutely, John. The guys have got off to an immaculate start, really. We've already seen one guy, Rainmaster, has come in for his mandatory pit. Got that done, out of the way, and he's just out in front of the leaders now, so avoids getting lapped, and he can just push on for the rest of the race now. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up and over swamped by the train we still have. So starting to spread out just a little bit more now. THKKR just less than 2 seconds behind Baggy. TKR Saturn another 1.5 seconds behind that. So guys in a nice little train from 4th position all the way through to about 10th position still.
Excellent. We're on board with AJ to the P. Just I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's come back. We really do appreciate your patience. Again, we do spend not the best of qualities, but it's a stream. Yeah. Unfortunately, what I've done, mate, is I've turned it down. I will have this all fixed very soon. You know me, Simon. You will be getting emails from me at 3 in the morning, procrastinating over. I finally cracked it. So yeah, we've got it up and running. We are 3 laps in. We have missed some ridiculously clean racing, and as Kane pointed out, Rainmeister has come in and taken his mandatory pit. He finds himself in 16th place. We've got Lord Megatron in 15th. Death Zone in his Ferrari, we do love the Ferrari, is in 14th. That Guitar Dude's 13th. Ian TDI finds himself in 12th in the Porsche, and Porsche AJ to the P, down in 11th. So this will not be doing his championship much good back there. PTX Guga, who is constantly now being harassed by AJ, finds himself in 10th. Chromedix in 9th. Wilson Big Mike is in 8th. TSR Piolo is in 7th. Jack Racing is up in 6th place. Carmentalist in his Lexus is in 5th, with ERS Militant in 4th place, hunting down Saturn, who finds himself in the first of our podium positions, with THKKR and Baggy 38, the 2 Porsches in 1st and 2nd in the race at the moment. And as you pointed out, Kane, Rainmeister might find them, that early pit stop is going to find themselves swamped by some of the race leaders here.
Yeah, it might not have worked out the best for him. Not too sure if he had any damage there, or that was just a strategy all along. Let's hope it does pay off for him. But yeah, he does have Baggy coming awfully close now. As we do see Baggy 38 pull a little bit further away, so really does have that Porsche fired up today.
Yeah, and the guys in the chat are saying I'm still a bit loud. I still got the track map on. Sorry guys, I've been that flustered trying to get the picture quality. I've left the track map on. These are all things we have been looking to improve the equipment. I did get some new equipment today, and we will be
just following AJ to the P here, John.
Go.
PTX Guga, actually. We're just waiting for these split times to come through. Had a little accident here, and he's found himself down 2 more positions. So AJ to the P up into 10th. Ian TDI just behind him. And PTX Guga back in 12th position now, so a little mishap along the way.
And here he comes into the pits, Ken. Front left of his car is looking like Herbie goes bananas.
Not too sure if we've still got John in the chat. If anyone in the...
yes, we do, Ken. Sorry, I do apologise. I muted the wrong microphone when the stream started, so you've not been listening to me. I do apologise.
Brilliant. We've been talking over the top of each other, I assume.
We have indeed, my friend. We have indeed. The professionalism is just unending.
As PTX Guga does come into the pits there, so may have missed a little contact.
And
whilst he had that pressure of AJ to P right behind him, so makes his pit stop. He's going to get that out of the way. We'll see where he comes out. In regards to the leader as well.
Well, we're on board with Militant. Rainmeister has found himself swamped by the top 4 guys. Carmentalist in 5th, looks like he might get an overtake done in there. Apologies for the notifications. I have literally just got a PS4 Pro today, installed it all today, and for some reason my settings haven't come over, so my notifications haven't switched off. So let's hope not too many people come online tonight. you will know the contents of my friends list before the stream is over. We are 5 laps in though, Kane, and it is certainly hotting up. Baggy finds himself 3 seconds almost in the lead with THKKR in the Porsche behind him, and he has a rear view mirror as we're on board with ERS Militant looking along that start finish straight. As you say, Kane, there is still the top 8, 9, 10 cars are still all well within striking distance here.
Absolutely, John, especially with that mandatory pit stop involved. Really levels it out, and these guys are going to have to come in for that pit stop at some stage. And we all know how those pit stops can be a little bit touch and go sometimes. So
yes, indeed we do, my friend. As ERS Militant has just taken 3/10 out of TKR Saturn, so has Saturn made a mistake, or has ERS found himself an extra bit of oomph with a nice little corner exit? Because as you know, Kane, KYALAMI is not for the faint-hearted. It is a beautiful, beautiful track, but definitely has some absolutely mind-bending corners.
absolutely, yeah, you're spot on there, John. As we're watching Militant, as I'm watching Militant just come up into the cop there, which is one of those corners. Kind of don't see it. It's a blind corner. You've got to brake without seeing the apex at all. So, you know, one that can easily go wrong.
Oh, very easily, very quickly.
As we see him on the edge there of the track through the mineshaft little kink, which is full throttle, full pedal to the floor. Guy's doing a great job here, keeping it nice and tight, but
yeah, and as we were saying, the opening few laps, there's been zero dramas, incidents. We've been, a couple of guys have come into the pits, look like they've got a bit of scratching, but there was certainly the first couple of laps from what we were lucky enough to witness, Kane, there wasn't many comings together. There was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful start to the race from all the drivers.
yeah, absolutely, totally respectful from everyone. Every one of these drivers knows they've got a full load of fuel, they've got cold tyres, they've got cold brakes, so, and they know it's a 60-minute race, so great to see that level of competition plus sportsmanship among all the drivers.
Indeed, the dedication to win, but not ruin other people's race. We'll have a quick look at the track. We did mention this is KYALAMI, and we do have a fact file from Bailey. It's of course 4 kilometres long. It's centred just outside Johannesburg, and it actually translates from Zulu to my home. So there we go, some beautiful little track facts there from Bailey. The course was built in 1961. It has changed 6 times, and it has gotten itself a third of a mile longer over the piece. So another course that's extended itself and added an extra little kink. And as we say, Kane, it really is a roller coaster. We're on board with TSR Piolo as he comes down from the famous crocodile, but the section just before that, the downhill, uphill, left, right, it's almost like a South African roller coaster for free.
It is, John. The elevation changes as well. The track does have some hills. You know, you're climbing those hills, you're coming straight back down, so lots of wind too along the track. As I look at the wind today, and we've got absolutely zero breeze, so make a liar out of me there.
Indeed, what we do have though is track temperature. I was just about to point that out as you excitedly spotted. There's a 37 degrees. So this really will be a tyre testing exercise for these guys.
And yeah, KYALAMI already is hard on those tyres, some really big braking zones, and you know, it's going to be tough to manage those out there.
It really, really is. I'm very quickly
just watching TKR Saturn now, John. He's found his rhythm again. Looks like he's catching THKKR, albeit slowly, but it's a long race, so he's got time to work on that.
He is, yeah. Well,
a little bit more of a gap back to Militant now as well.
Yeah, in the last 2 minutes, he's taken another few tenths, so definitely putting the foot down.
Guys are all just getting their cars into shape now and feeling it all out. Maybe that track temperature playing a little bit of a part at the start of the race. But yeah, everybody's settling in now, and still have that train of cars.
Well, certainly as well, with the track temperature being the way it is, Kane, as you and I know, being in the slipstream of these cars, it will help your fuel, but it will in no way, shape or form help your tyres or your aerodynamics. So with the track temperature being the way it is, we could find drivers finding it very difficult to put in the overtake and maintain their tyres to the end of the race. As we see Rainmeister running wide, they are letting a few drivers through. So yeah, so the track temperature and driving close, Kane, that really is going to play havoc with the drivers trying to overtake and get these tyres to the end of the race.
Yes, for sure. See a lot of passing moves that end in the past car getting a cutback straight on the next corner. So see a lot of those on this KYALAMI track. Positions changing, 1 corner, 2 corner, backwards and forwards. But very tough to get that move done around here.
It is, yeah, making the move is one thing, but as you say, making it stick is another thing entirely. The cutback is always a possibility because these are such technically high speed corners. You really do, and a lot of these cars, especially some of the middle engine rear wheel drives, you really are getting your foot down before the apex and powering the car through, so you really can build up some speed. We're on board with TSR Piolo, who is at the back of a nice little train of cars that are keeping one another very honest here. We see them take the turn at the top of the hill to come down the mine shaft. One of the classic examples, you make a slight mistake here, Kane, and lose the back of the car, and you can lose an absolute bag full of time trying to catch the guys in front.
Absolutely, as I'm just watching a battle here continue with TKR Sat and THKKR. What a mouthful. These guys really at it. Saturn looking like he wants to get this move done. Might have some extra pace on the guys in front, so maybe wanting to catch up to those a Baggy who's pulling away now, 4.5 seconds almost into the lead after 10 laps gone.
Yes.
But yeah, TKR Saturn right on the back of that Porsche.
And I'll tell you another one that's on the back as well. I've just jumped on board with TSR Piolo, 3/10 off the hunt. There is a back marker involved as well, but TSR Piolo and Jacques Racing in the Bentleys number 39 and number 11 coming all along this top back straight here, and they are very close. And as we were talking about, TSR Piolo is well within the slipstream, so he will be wearing his tyres here. So if he is going to make a move, he is going to be looking to get it done very soon. And the way this gap is closing, Kane, I'm guessing once they get back up to the top of the hill, we could well see TSR Piolo try to make a move down the inside.
I think so.
Here,
see how they come through the S's here. Got to get that foot planted at the right time and not let it skid out. It's not going to hit it done this time. Contending with that blue flag traffic as well, John. It's going to be tough as Rainmeister finds himself, as you say, amongst it all, but
yeah,
very gentlemanlike, getting out of the way for all the racing.
Yeah, so the three guys that have all pitted have all finding themselves being lapped at the moment, but this is obviously a very short course.
Ed TDI, John, sorry, misses the cheater. Takes the curb. I think he got a little bit of curb there. I think he's avoided the wall, but he's lost some time there. He's going to be checking himself as well. That was a pretty scary moment for Ian TDI down in 14th position.
Definitely not what it'd been voting for. We've jumped back on board again then with TSR Piolo. Him and Jacques Racing absolutely sticking side by side with one another. PTX Guga trying to get himself a bit of slipstream behind there. Rainmeister looking to get a move done on PTX Guga to take 15th place from him, whereas TSR Piolo is trying to take 6th place from Jacques Racing. Both men in Bentleys, both men, as we see Jacques go defensive early, he moves across to make sure that there is no move up the inside, takes the inside line. TSR Piolo pushing that a little bit harder. He's not run wide enough there, I don't think, not carried enough speed, and I think that's going to cause, yep, and there we go, we can see the gap increase. So Piolo's made himself a little tiny mistake in giving Jacques just that little tiniest bit of breathing room there. Still only 3/10 off the back as they come through the S's. Piolo will be desperate to get this move done. He's absolutely hanging on in there, and he will be keen to get in front and get his tyre some fresh air, get some grip and get some lap times in, Kane.
As he draws that gap out right on the back of the tail of Jacques Racing now, John. That battle there with those two is bringing the back markers of PTX Guga and Rainmaster back into the race here, but...
And there we go. Oh, somebody's just pinned Piolo. Yeah, Piolo looks like he's lost control.
He's gone for the move up the inside there, John, and yeah, hasn't got the car stopped in time. That is a problem. It can happen.
It really can, and I'll tell you, I think he's caught himself a bit of care. Oh, and he's got a bit of contact with Wilson Big Mike there, a bit of Bentley on Bentley action. There is, of course, 3 Bentleys there, 6th, 7th and 8th, and they are juxtapositioning more, like I say, more than I've changed my socks in a week. Chromedix finds himself...
Chromedix goes up the inside.
Right in the battle.
This is 3 to 2, it's Wilson... Oh, they all come out in single file, well done. Well done, great racing.
Yeah, great racing there from the guys. So Jacques Racing finds himself with the space that TSR Piolo so very craved, and now Piolo finds himself with all kinds of ERS Chromedix problems all over his rear spoiler. He's also got Wilson Big Mike in a Bentley very much behind him, and this will all be music to Indigo Lime's very own AJ to the P, who is in 10th, and he is only a corner behind these guys. So the more they battle, he will absolutely be licking his lips, as these 3 guys are almost inseparable coming along the S's, Kane.
That's right, John. I've been watching AJ to the P, slowly taking that gap off those guys. So again, the more everyone's battling up front, and the more space in front of him that AJ to the P has.
Chromedix side by side, sorry Kane, Chromedix goes side by side. Oh, a little bit of a touch there coming down the mine shaft. The two of them coming through, and Chromedix slightly giving the place back. He is going to have the inside line going into the penultimate corner, of course. The Cheetah, and can they do this? Well, Wilson Big Mike gives them way too much room there, but the two of them are now going side by side through the corner. Nobody wants to go side by side, coming past the pit entrance into the last corner, and ERX Chromedix has got the move done. So the battle between him and Wilson Big Mike will continue on, I can assure you that, but TSR Piolo has gotten himself away, and he is back on the tail of Jacques Racing, looking to hunt him down. And Jacques, I tell ya, now that he's not been defended, Kane, he is moving to within striking distance of Car Mentalist now.
It just proves these battles, John, how much it takes out of your time in there, having to defend, having to not run your constant line. So yeah, these guys in the battles, they're just letting everybody else behind them catch back up again. Which we're seeing all over the field here. Baggy 38 with a 6-second lead now. Really making it look easy out the front.
He really is.
Battle THKKR has been under pressure since about the 3rd lap here from Saturn. Gap there now less than 4 tenths. Militant not too far behind also.
Yeah, Militant finds himself a second off the podium positions, which are up for grabs at the minute. As we've said, battling does just bring other cars into it, especially defending on this course. As we've said before, it's so easy to lose a bit of time. TKR Saturn decides to get himself some fresh air, makes the decision to come into the pits now, so we're about halfway through the race. TKR Saturn's coming to the pits, which has handed THKKR 2nd place and Militant 3rd place. Of course, these two drivers do still have to pit, but Militant now, Kane, he'll be looking to get past THKKR on the track and hoping to secure himself a podium position without having to worry about too many clever pit strategies.
For sure. Just wondering there with the pit stop made with TKR Saturn, whether he did have a little bit more pace there and was being held up, so he might be looking to get his pit stop done, get out into fresh track, and make up some time and get that pass made with his pit stop, as we see him come out of the pits just now. So gonna have a little bit of traffic in front of him, but he will be the leading car who has made their pit stop. So interesting to see how much pace he does have in that Bentley. Excuse me.
It certainly will. We're back on board with Wilson Big Mike, who finds himself still very close to Chromedix. Chromedix does have some back markers in front of him. in the form of Rain Meister, and then TSR Piolo in front. So these guys could use the back marker for a bit of slipstream to their benefit to catch back up. TSR Piolo, who was involved in a little incident earlier, he did seem to hit the curb in this very corner at the bottom of the mineshaft, and again he's lost the back, and he is not having much fun at the bottom of the mineshaft today, Ken. That is the second time we've seen him lose the back end through there, and he's held it better this time, but that is absolutely a bogey corner for TSR Piolo this race so far.
He is a very tough corner.
And he's coming to the pits. Chromodix is coming to the pits. Sorry, Kane, interrupt you. Chromodix, Wilson,
into
Big
the pits,
Mike.
guys. These guys, he's spun. He's spun in the pits. Chromodix is around the wrong way.
Oh, Chromodix, that is not going to do his race any good. AJ to the P then is going to come round the corner. I was trying to jump on board with ERS Militant, so he has come into the pits as well. So Baggy stayed out, THKKR stayed out, Car Mentalist and AJ to the P have stayed out. We've then got 4 cars who are in the pit. We've got 4 cars who are pitting. TKR Saturn,
just watching.
He has
again,
just
John,
come into the pits as well.
I was just about to update you on that.
Yep.
He didn't clear the mandatory pit stop, so something's gone wrong there in the pit strategy, or hasn't actually implemented his pit strategy, but that's very costly. He's gonna, second time in those matter of laps that he's had to come into the pits.
That will be very, 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 very costly indeed, Ken. As we'll have a quick rundown. We're over halfway through the race. We do have Rainmeister in 16th. Guga is in 15th. We've got Ian TDI in 14th. We have Saturn, Chromodix, Piolo and Wilson Big Mike all in the pits, so we'll see where these guys filter out. Jacques Racing is on track in 9th. We've got Lord Megatron still to pit up in 8th. ERS Militant is the lead driver to have pitted. He finds himself in 8th actually, so he came out the pits behind Lord Megatron. Not far behind Lord Megatron, but certainly behind him. Mr. Deathzone in the Ferrari is in 6th. That Guitar Dude's up in 5th. AJ to the P, looking to make that championship charge, is in 4th position. Car Mentalist is up in 3rd. THKKR in 2nd place comes into the pits, which leaves Baggy, Indigo Lime's very own, in that very distinctive green and purple Porsche Cane, away out in the lead is the technical term, I think, for how far ahead he is at the moment.
Yeah, he's had this race all to himself so far. A couple of guys that had made that early pit stop, he had to get past, but yeah, seeing those back markers make way for the blue flags, always good to see. Yeah, Baggy just doing it by himself at the moment. Yeah, cruise control really.
Yeah, Mr. Deathzone's just popped into the pits. He looks like he's had a bit of a dink with the wall. That is an interesting pit entrance, I will say that.
We are halfway through, not over
PTX
yet.
Guga's just had a little moment too, John, before sunset. So, a little bit sideways out the exit of barbecue possibly.
So we'll see THKKR. He's come out of the pits. The timing board currently says 7th. We did see Mr. Deathzone go into the pits, so it'll be interesting to see where exactly he has come back out. ERS Militant is...
So he's a long way behind Militant there, John, yeah.
Yeah, I think he is. He's just coming around turn 1. In fact, I think the two of them are actually quite close. No, they've got... Yeah, so Lord Megatron. So ERS Militant, he is actually quite close. He has just gone past Lord Megatron, who of course hasn't pitted yet. So THKKR, yeah, he finds himself about 10 seconds down the road actually from Militant. So his pit stop, I would guesstimate, hasn't gone as smoothly as he would have planned. As Baggy's in the pits. So Baggy, our race leader, is in the pits. As we see, Car Mentalist, another driver having a problem with the pit entrance, Kane. The pit entrance really is catching these pros out in this race.
And it is a tough one, John. Really sharp left-hander in there. It's surrounded by walls, concrete walls. Very easy to get it a little bit wrong. Trying to get it fast enough, but slow enough not to get penalised also.
So Baggy is rolling from the
P.
pits. Sorry mate, let me just get this on the way, because Baggy is leaving the pits and ERS Militant is coming around the last corner. So Baggy will maintain the lead. Baggy is up to speed as Militant comes along onto the start-finish straight. So Baggy has got his pit stop done, maintained the lead and maintained himself a beautiful little gap. When the timing belt updates, yes, Militant has taken 2nd place. We've got Car Mentalist AJ, that Guitar Dude and Lord Megatron all in the pits, with THKKR coming along the back straight. No, that is the start-finish straight. So he's coming round turn 1. So he's going to take himself a position back on the podium. With Jacques racing up into 4th. Car Mentalist is in 5th. And AJ to the P is coming in the pits. It does say 6th place, but we will have to wait for the boards to update. But if he is any place near 6th, that is an absolutely fantastic drive from AJ to the P, Ken.
For sure, John, for sure. I'm just following Jacques Racing as well. He's had massive improvements too.
Oh, and we're side by side. Sorry, Ken, we're on board with TSR Piolo and AJ to the P. I think these two guys are fighting for position. They are side by side, coming up the hill, coming along into the right-hander before the S's, and they are going to go in side by side. This is going to be absolutely amazing to watch. They are going side by side. AJ takes the wider line, which means he's going to have the apex.
On the outside on the cold tyres.
Oh, and they've just made contact, and I don't think both cars, they have both made it through. So AJ, a bit of contact there as they're coming through the S's. Piolo wins out in this little exchange, but you've got to imagine that AJ will be looking to get this done very, very, very quickly. Definitely showing more pace than Piolo, and I think his outlap tyres, as you said, Kane, may have caught him out a bit there.
Oh, yeah. I think if he had another lap under his belt with those tyres, John, that move around the outside was going to be done. But yeah, he'll stick to the back of TSR Piolo now and work to make that move stick.
Well,
great little battles all over the track.
Yeah, there really is. We've just jumped on board with Wilson Mike.
Car Mentalist. But yeah,
yeah,
well done.
Yeah, exactly.
Great
well
battle
spotted,
there.
yeah.
Half a second there.
I'll tell you what,
come
this
onto
could
the
be
main
interesting.
straight. Looks like Big Mike's got a better run out of that last straight. It's going to be right on the back of him here.
He really is. Will he make a move into turn 1? Oh yes, so he's gone side by side. He's making Car Mentalist. He made the move, made Car Mentalist think about it. Car Mentalist has held his ground fantastically. The two guys power up the hill into this very tricky left-hander. Wilson Big Mike looking to cut the apex beautifully there, getting the power down, keeping him well and truly in there. And AJ to the P, we're going to quickly jump back on board. He is down to 710, so Piolo is keeping himself ahead of AJ to the P quite comfortably at the moment, as we're back on board with Wilson Big Mike, who practically climbs into the back of Car Mentalist Lexus there. The two of them coming along through the S's, and we're seeing some absolutely fantastic action along this top straight and through these S's, Ken.
For sure, John. These guys are right on each other's tail. Wilson Big Mike giving him all sorts of pressure here, so which might just see TSR Piolo slightly bridge that gap between 7th and 6th place, with of course AJ to the P hanging on to the back of there. That Bentley as well. The battles are all over the field, like you say, John. Jacques Racing just sticking, looking like that gap's not changing too much, but yeah, he's had a great race so far. Really had a pit stop that made it work. Earlier pressure from TSR Piolo in the race. Jacques has held off, and now he's just finding his groove. Hopefully they're looking at that podium position, maybe.
He is certainly reaping the rewards of his hard work, Ken. As you said earlier, TSR Piolo was all over the back of him for an extended period of time, until of course Piolo met his match in the bottom of the mineshaft, an area of the track. He has made 2 mistakes in this race. He does still find himself in 7th place though, and he is battling, and he is keeping himself ahead. He is extending that gap to AJ. He's now up to 1.1 second. So he is very much looking, 1.2 seconds now in fact, so he is looking to keep himself definitely ahead of AJ in the Bentley, and looking to close in, no doubt, on Mike and Car Mentalist, as well as TSR Piolo.
That'll be interesting. I can't remember if TSR Piolo and AJ to the P came out of the pits together, John. Did you catch that?
So AJ came out with the pits as TSR Piolo had already pitted. So Piolo's tyres were a couple of laps fresher, and they came out side by. So Piolo came along the start-finish straight as AJ came out the pit exit. That was how the two ended up so close. And Piolo's definitely making his tyres work a lot better for him at the moment than AJ seems to be. As we jump back on board with Wilson Big Mike, there is now almost a 1 second gap between him and Car Mentalist, Baggy is still leading. 10. Oh, the timing boards are about to update. Is it more than 10.7 seconds? Is he stretching that lead? We'll find out in a second. Well, we'll jump down the track and we'll see what happens when that pops up. 11.0 seconds. So he is a few tenths of a second per sector eking out that lead. And he's got to be thinking to himself that this is another race in the bag, Kane.
Yeah, looks like it, John. So he will take, if the position stays as is, he will take those 30 points. If I'm correct?
Believe so.
Believe so. 30 points. That will move him up a few points ahead of THKKR, who's in third position now. So those guys are tied in the championship leaderboard. It's going to be about, off the top of my head, about 4 or 5 points gap if everything stays as is, with Militant making a bit of a move also.
Yeah, and as Simon's saying in the chat, if it stays like this in the championship, it really is going to be all changed, with Car Mentalist, who's only a point behind AJ in the championship and a few places ahead of him here in the race, 2 places ahead. So that is certainly going to change. Piolo is in 7th at the moment in the race, and he's of course 3rd in the championship. He's only 4 points ahead of AJ and 5 points ahead of Car Mentalist, so he is going to find himself losing some places. So the overall championship is absolutely nowhere near decided, with 2 races, with the culmination of this race and one more race, of course, at one of my personal favourites, Barcelona.
Barcelona next week, that's right, John. Because I'm just looking through the standings at the moment, and I know why Jarks Racing's name stuck out to me. He's actually sitting in 11th position on the leaderboard, so to be in 4th place around KYALAMI here, putting pressure on THKKR, the joint leader, is a massive race for him. So yeah, looking real good to up his points in the championship. As I said, sitting in 11th on the board, but 4th in the race here today. So hopefully he can keep this on track and be a great result for Jarks Racing. Yeah,
it really will, especially given that Car Mentalist, Piolo, AJ to the P, Chromedix are all behind him on track. Gerino, of course, not racing today. He is in 7th in the championship, so he's going to find himself swamped, and neither is AMPO. So neither of those guys racing today, and they are 7th and 8th in the championship, so they will find themselves dropping. And Jacques Racing, as you see, he's going to vault himself up into possibly 7th or 8th place, with an eye on a potential 5th place finish in the championship if he can get a result next week. So definitely all to play for, especially when we've got trophies up for grabs.
That's right, John. Yeah, huge 2 weeks. Huge 1 week and 17 minutes, sorry. So yeah, it was just over 17 minutes of this race left. A couple of blue flags in the background there. Few of the back markers still in amongst this battle somewhere.
Yeah, with this being such a short lap, there is little bunches of cars spread all round the track, so we are in for some grandstand finishing. Of course, if you're joining us in the chat, say hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Double O Raven. This is my virtual commentary partner Kane, the man from Down Under. We are commentating for SOP Motorsport, Symphony of Pistons Motorsport. You can find us on Twitch, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Give us a like, give us a follow. You will get notifications. We do have one more championship race left. We have a GT4 championship coming up, and we also have endurance races at the weekend. So if you like racing, you could maybe join us. Come along, join in, and you can maybe be one of the in excess of 1,000 members that we currently have racing on PS4 and PC. We do have 4 PlayStation servers to race on and a PC server as well, so there is plenty of spaces out there for people to get involved, and you too could find yourself on stream with Kane and I, or Simon perhaps, Rainmeister. We've got quite a few guys doing the commentary as well these days, so get involved, give us a like, say hello in the chat and let us know what you think. We are watching the Winter Series Pro Division. Some of the best drivers on the PlayStation 4 on ACC or PlayStation 5, as some of them are now, I'm sure, if they were lucky enough to find one, Kane. I'm not sure There's
That's
not many
right,
mere
that's right.
mortals that got their hands on one of those.
Rare as hen's teeth these days.
I've not heard that phrase in a while. But yeah, that is absolutely bang on. Ian TDI then, he is the closest man on track to anywhere else, and it is Rainmeister he finds himself chasing down in the Porsche. Ian, I know, does have a good turn of pace here. I actually raced with him the other night. We did an open event. We are on Twitch as well, by the way, so everyone give us a like on Twitch. We're going to be doing open events where myself, Simon, Kane, some of the patrons, we're going to be doing open nights where we'll be dedicating a server just for ourselves. So you can come along, you can join in, and you can put yourselves up against some of the finest that SOP has to offer. What more motivation do you need?
Up, John.
Yeah, see where you stack
That's
up.
That's right.
Yeah, and speaking of seeing where you stack up, I'm definitely, Simon's in the chat. Simon, you and I definitely need a rematch around KYALAMI, my friend. I have discovered where I was losing time, and I would like to retake my crown as fastest commentator as soon as possible. So next time you're free, big man.
Ooh, it's getting personal.
It certainly is.
It's quite personal now, guys.
Yeah, we've got Kane in the commentary team now, so we're going to have to worry about him being the fastest commentator, because for an Australian he is quite quick.
For upside down, I do make it work sometimes.
You do indeed. That rush of blood to the head, that certainly seems to help. And someone that's not had the rush of blood to the head tonight is our man in the lead. 13.4 seconds in the lead after almost 45 minutes of racing. That is, of course, Baggy 38. He will extend his championship lead. THKKR, who is second, in fact he's joint first, they're both on 79 points, finds himself 2 places in arrears to Baggy. So he will find himself dropping off, and he will not find himself challenged for second place at the moment. Militant is ahead of him, but Militant is 24 points behind in the championship. So Militant certainly will close the gap and make the last week interesting for THKKR in his Porsche if he can hang on to a position in the top 3 in the championship. But as we keep saying, it is definitely all to play for, and I'll tell you, a lot of these drivers, I'm wondering, there's a lot of pressure on here. As I said, TSR Piolo finds himself third in the championship, Kane. Made 2 mistakes on a corner. You would expect pro drivers to be eating up for breakfast. So do we think perhaps the pressure's maybe got to him a bit?
Possibly, John. He's pushing quite hard too there, as we remember, battling with Jarks Racing for those opening laps. So trying to push hard on that new fresh car, fresh tyres, just getting the balance right. In the slipstream, really easy to miss it by that little bit, and yeah, get it all wrong. Just following a little battle here with TKR Saturn, who had that unfortunate pit stop mishap and had to make it twice. He's just battling now with that guitar dude and really firing up, really heating up as he tries to do the cutback at the top of the track there, the highest elevation. Guys have got a great view down of Johannesburg and the downhill into the mine shaft as they almost side by side, John.
Oh,
that guitar dude making it work, keeping out in front too. That Audi very, very fast down the hill.
It really is, and when they get down the hill and round that corner, the Audi really can get the foot down. Oh, and that guitar dude absolutely pushing his luck there with that sausage. I'm going to be honest, Kane, his right wheels did clip the sausage of death, as that is called. That sausage, you clip that sausage, you could end up in the pit lane, you could end up in the neighbour's garden, you could end up on Mars. That thing is absolutely lethal and should never be underestimated.
It's one of those sausages that could be a wall. Might as well be a wall.
Almost like a spinning Australian on the Silverstone start-finish straight. But we won't go into that one.
Ah, I've heard this story.
I'm sure you might have been part of it. But we are watching the SOP Motorsport Winter Series Pro League. This is week 5. There is one more week left after the 11 minutes of this race, which is, of course, at Catalonia next Monday on YouTube, with myself and Kane commentating once again. So we really do hope to see you there. Thank you everyone for tuning in again tonight. Give us a hi in the chat. Do we think the top 3 positions will change? I think it's safe to say that Baggy has got first place, all safely tucked up. ERS Militant is looking pretty comfortable in second place, but THKKR, who is looking to do a bit of damage limitation in the league table, finds himself, Kane, being hunted down by a man who we mentioned before is having a pretty good race so far, and that is, of course, Jacques Racing in his Bentley.
That's right, John, and been watching that gap closely. He's between about 1.5 seconds and 2 seconds at all times, Jacques Racing, so really got that Bentley fired up today and looking to make that podium position. As we see that gap, Militant may have had a little bit of a mishap there, John. The gap's increased from about 13-14 seconds to 20 seconds to Baggy, so THKKR will be a little bit closer to Militant now also. So I'll have to see if Militant can just settle it back down and keep it back on track and finish this race on the podium.
Although, to be fair, the gap extension could just be that Baggy has finally decided to take his handbrake off. He might have just...
I see. He found that extra gear.
Yeah, he found the extra gear. He realised he was driving a car with 6 gears rather than 5. So that'll be why he suddenly extended the lead. We're going to jump back on with TKR Saturn. He did have a decent start to the race, made himself a couple of mistakes, finds himself down in 11th place, but he's certainly looking to get into the top 10 at the expense of that guitar dude, as Kane had pointed out earlier. And I tell you, they've got ERX Chromedix just in front of them as well, so if Saturn's clever here and times this at just the overtake at just the right time, he could get a slingshot onto the back of Chromedix. And I'll tell you, coming down the mine shaft round this flying left-hander, they've all hit that absolutely beautifully. They're going to come round to the right, hit this apex through the cheetah, and here they come down towards Ngawe, which is of course South African for Kane?
Leopard, John.
Leopard. That's what it is indeed. I'd forgotten. I didn't want to besmirch the name by getting the wrong animal. But here we go, TKR Saturn then. So he's definitely looking to get himself in the slipstream. You want to get yourself a bit more of that slipstream there. Hang on in the back of that car. He could well be looking to make a move into turn 1. He's certainly moved over, signalling his intent. He's pulled back in, so he was looking to see if he could make that guitar dude twitch there. Pulled out as if he was going to make a move to see what guitar dude. Guitar dude has a bit of a wiggle though coming up the hill, and TKR Saturn is all over the back of that as they take the left-hander to come along towards the S's, and Chromedix is getting an absolutely glorious view of this battle in his rear view mirror as the two of them get very, very close, coming through this section. Through the right-hander is a very, very heavy braking zone here at the 50 with a sharp left turn. TKR Saturn thinks about going side by side there, and a deep inhalation of breath from my commentary partner there, as I did myself. The two of them coming downhill now through the last section of the S's before they get to the crocodile, and TKR Saturn, less than 2 seconds, runs himself onto the grass. Going to cost himself a bit of time there. He will be desperate to make a move. Again, sticks his nose out as if he's going to move. Puts his nose firmly back in place with his eyes against as they come down the mine shaft, Kane. And these two guys are absolutely keeping this going right until the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Just goes to show in this pro league how tight it is right through that field. As we see the battle on course happening now, these guys are actually 9th and 10th in the championship, so Chromadex will gain a few positions. He's currently down in 13th, so we'll be looking to pick a few more points off these guys. But yeah, that guitar dude and TKR Saturn battling out not only on track but for position on the championship board.
Yeah, they're
so
really,
all to
really
play
are.
here with the points on offer.
Definitely. Chromedix, if I remember correctly, he did not start the championship from the first week. So I think he joined week 1 or 2. So I think his position in the championship could be slightly misconstrued. I would have expected him to have picked up points in the first race. So at the moment I would say Chromedix is actually realistically about 8th or 9th in the championship, which would put him right in amongst that guitar dude and TKR Saturn, and that is certainly being played out on track at the moment. Saturn's still unable to find his way past, and his tyres will be absolutely screaming after 55 minutes of racing on a 36-degree track, Kane.
That's right, John, with, just over 5 minutes left. It just proves what we were saying earlier about how difficult it is to make a pass stick at KYALAMI here. These guys making no mistakes to make passes easier, so you know it's on the guy behind to make that pass cleanly and fairly. As you see, TKR Saturn a little bit late in the braking zone there, but again finds himself right on the back of that guitar dude.
And again,
Fantastic
he's lining it up. Yeah, fantastic.
10th and 11th.
He needs to stay in. There we go. Tuck that nose right in there. Chromadex then finds himself pulling away as these two guys. TKR Saturn definitely won't be in range. He won't be pulling a nose out here. There's no point in compromising your line if you're that far back pretending to make a move. It's all fine and well if you could potentially get the move done, but he is out of range. We're going to jump back on with Wilson Big Mike then, who finds himself up in 6th. And as we were talking about battles right through the field, he's all over the back of Car Mentalist with TSR Piolo lurking in the background. So again, for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th and 11th place, still not decided, Kane, and 4 minutes left to go. There really could be some last minute splash and dash dive bombing moves here. Definitely don't like to see it, but some of these guys could get desperate. And Saturn less than 3/10. We'll jump back on board with Saturn then as they come through the S's again. He's got that gap right down once again. Can he get the move done, Kane? What do we reckon?
The Audi, John's just got so much turn of pace when he decides to put the foot down. So really tough to get past. That guitar dude just stretches that gap a little bit further, backwards and forwards, like you say. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. Just following that battle with Wilson Big Mike, TSR Piolo be, like you said, lurking behind and just hoping for Big Mike and Car Mentalist to start battling a little bit more, which will of course let him straight back into it with only 3.5 minutes to go. So
yeah, he will be looking for an inroad to catch up to these guys, and he will be hoping. I mean, this is the thing. Driving's one thing. Oh, and Wilson Big Mike a bit late on the brakes here, closes up beautifully there. And if you, it's not always the battling that can catch you out, Kane. Sometimes you can find you just push too hard. You find yourself catching the wrong side of the curb, lose yourself a bit of traction. You can suddenly find yourself dropping off. So the levels of concentration to stay this close behind someone else and keep it together really is pretty phenomenal from some of these guys.
That's it. That's exactly right. And it's the difference in cars too, John, as we see the guys heading down through Mineshaft now. The previous sector is where Wilson Big Mike really makes up that time to Car Mentalist. He's so close to racing right now, John. Just under half a second between these two. They'll have what looks like 2 more laps. So Wilson Big Mike will have possibly this lap, and yes, he will have another lap after. Still needs to show a little bit of patience. He does have that speed there. He could just be waiting for the right moment. We know how easy the cutback is, so Wilson Big Mike could see in the last 2-3 corners make his move.
Yeah, he certainly could be. Like you say, he could be biding his time, doesn't want to give up the reverse slipstream as he... Oh, Big Mike lost his tyres there. So the back of his car slid out a bit. We've suddenly got closing up all over the track. TKR Saturn is still all over the back of that guitar dude, looking to take 10th place from the Audi driver. We've got Ian TDI looking to take 14th place from Rainmeister. We have, of course, got Baggy, 31 laps.
TSR Piolo.
Yep. Piolo,
draws that gap within, to 1.5 seconds now. So that little mistake from Wilson Big Mike has, like I say, let TSR Piolo back into this. And he'll be looking for a 6th position here, just to keep his championship alive as well.
He certainly will. And Baggy is now on the final lap. Lap 33 of the race. He is led. He took pole position with a 1:39.7, and he's led the race quite comfortably, it has to be said, from start to finish. Militant's in 2nd. just got past the back marker, but THKKR still holding on to third place, but has the spectre of Jacques Racing lurking in the background. Kane, does THKKR have the nerve to make it to the end and hold on to what is really a must-have podium position for THKKR if he has any hope of doing any damage to Baggy in the last race?
Absolutely. THKKR needs to hold this position. He's held it for the majority of the race now, but again, we just see Jacques closing that gap ever so slightly on what will be their last lap of the race also.
Jacques Racing
pushing it just a little too hard. Just trying to make that gap up.
Yeah.
So THKKR, a little bit more breathing space, but he's not going to know that, so he's going to be pushing just as hard.
He really is, as we jump through the field. So as we're on the last lap, PTX Guga is in 16th with Ian TDI in 15th. Rainmeister is in 14th.
As Baggy finishes the race, John, first position with a very, very healthy gap.
Very, very healthy gap. As ERS Militant comes round the last two corners, he will take second place. THKKR has held on to take podium and keep himself in with a fighting chance of the championship next week. Jacques Racing, and absolutely, we're going to give him driver of the day, I think. Held off, held the pressure, and has held on to fourth place in that race, which, as we said earlier, Kane, is absolutely going to do him the world of good in the overall championship standings. Carmentalist comes round to take fifth place with Wilson Big Mike just off the back of Carmentalist, looking to take sixth. TSR Piolo made a couple of mistakes coming down the mineshaft early doors, finds himself in seventh. AJ to the P is up to 8th place after what must have been a pretty terrible qualifying. ERS Chromodix is in 9th, and TKR Saturn will take 10th place and round out the top 10. Kane, what a race!
Excitement all over the field, John. The battles in this pro league are something to really witness. These guys have put on a fantastic display today. Baggy, of course, 25 seconds out in front. League of his own. Militant with a great finish, yeah. Second place, he'll be really happy with that. THKKR, third position, last step of the podium. Keep him in range of Baggy 38 in the championship now, but yeah, he'll need a massive week next week at Barcelona if he wants to come away with the top position.
He really will. So we do have our final standings. It is official. Guga takes 16th, Ian takes 15th, Rainmeister 14th, Death Zone is in 13th place. That guitar dude crawls home after a last turn incident there to take 12th. Lord Megatron is in 11th with TKR Saturn, our top 10 provider. ERS Chromodix in 9th, AJ to the P in 8th, TSR Piolo in 7th, Wilson Big Mike is in 6th, Carmentalist in 5th, Jacques Racing in 4th, THKKR is in 3rd place, ERS Militant is in 2nd, and as we mentioned, look at that procession of cars there, that's marvellous. Baggy did take 1st place, so this is going to be an absolute grandstand finish to the championship next week, Kane. Absolutely can't wait for it. Barcelona, baby!
Let's get it done. Yeah, really looking forward to next week now. Guys are going to go straight from this track, get the cars ready, and head straight out to Barcelona and start prepping those setups, getting everything right. So
indeed,
yeah,
they
great
will.
racing again. So we see all the cars returning to the pits now after their cool down lap.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for everybody in the chat. We are, as I've said, SOP Motorsport and Double O Raven. The man joining me tonight on the commentary was, of course, Kane. Bailey, we hope you did well in your race. I will be expecting a full breakdown after the show. We are, as I said, we are SOP Motorsport. You can follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on Facebook. And of course, most importantly, Discord. Are you a driver? Are you one of the best in the world? Are you an undiscovered talent? Come and put yourself on the grid against Baggy, Militant, THKKR and see how you stack up. thank you once again for watching. As I said, I am Double O Raven. The man with me was Kane. Kane, thanks very much again, my friend.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Thanks for having me, John. It's been a pleasure. Always great to see these battles. These racing. Fantastic. Can't wait. Everybody, yeah, follow on SOP. Come in, join in on the action.
Indeed, and I'm just going to get my last slide ready because I had to change everything. The size of everything's changed. As I said, we do have the GT4 competition coming up on Sunday, 7th and 14th of every month. We will be running a 6-track competition, as well as, of course, the last week of the Winter Sprint Series. That will be next Monday. It will be from Barcelona, and it will be with Kane, and it will be with me. We hope to see you then. We hope to not have the technical issues we had tonight.